Hello everyone, my name is Rocco and today is September 21st, 2016, so is the autumn equinox, and in a few days on September 29th it will be Archangel Michael's birthday, so Michaelmas. It's another important magical festival, okay? For some festivals, the pagan and the Christian tradition coincide, such as the summer solstice is celebrated both in with Ethan rituals for those who believe them, and with when I say Christian rituals, just like the Holy Mass is a Christian ritual, I mean rituals that involve the calling forth of spirits that are in God's grace. Whereas with pagan ritual, most times I mean spirits that, like gods and goddesses, that are much below Jehovah, and that truly aren't aligned with what we call the grace of God. But these festivals worldwide, such as Walpurgisnacht, so that's around April, end of April, beginning of May. Night of the Witches, it's called. And then, yeah, again, this basically the February Imbolc, what they call Imbolc, February 2nd, the summer solstice, again, the winter solstice. All the solstices are basically events that are natural and therefore align with spirits that, just like in white magic, don't contradict the laws of nature. Black magic, on the other hand, involves spirits that misuse. They don't overcome nature, but they misuse the power that's in it. So if by nature something has to be in a way, that is what we try to accomplish with white magic, to even create something but to stay in within the frame of nature. With black magic, people try to go above and beyond what's in the limit of what we consider to be possible. That doesn't mean these people are crazy, but that these people are not fully aware or disrespectful. Once you're separated from God, you're separated from the truth, you're separated from some type of reality. So all of these festivals are, most of them, they are traditional to both cultures, the pagan culture and the Christian culture. Now, the difference is that a spirit usually would know what energy is and how certain energy currents can be used. So it's a matter if you want to use this energy current of the equinox, in this case the autumn or fall equinox, for you or for a spirit. Because with these black spirits, they take what's good in human energy and natural energy in that segment, and they take it in themselves because they cannot produce their parasites, demons or entities that are pagan. They don't produce energy of their own. They are unlike angels. They are not supported by God because they don't want to be supported, and when you aren't supported by life, you lack energy, and when you aren't honest enough to want to, give yourself the energy you need in honest ways, at the same time you have to steal. So all of these festivals again can be used at the choice of the magician to call forth an angel or to call forth one or more demons. And we know by fact that when we call upon a spirit that, just like in the Solomonic tradition, that's positive, we know that we're calling upon a positive spirit. By that, just like King Solomon, we know that these positive spirits are called angels. When we summon, and we don't, but if people summon a negative spirit, what King Solomon defines a demon, then just like King Solomon experimented, for as much as people want to be prudish and add several holy names to the invocation or evocation in this case, you're still dealing with what you're dealing with. So it doesn't matter how many layers of protection you think that you have, but hell is still hell. It's still negative. That this doesn't change the nature of, say, by the holy name of such spirit must abide this person's will and do. And the black magician would say, I don't know, give me fame, fortune, and money. Fame, fortune, and money, and you must do it because I bind you by the name of such name, and you, Uncle Mark, there's no demon called that, but Uncle Mark, you must do that. By using this technique, a lot of black magicians think that they eventually come to a position of power when the spirit that normally would not help, because that's how they felt, would not help a human being, forced by the almighty power of these names, okay, eventually will not bow down, say that they don't do that, because that would be automatically bring them to bow down to life, and that would bring them back to life somehow. But because they chose death eternal, they're in that little box, and for as cool as you think it looks, it's still a little box. And to make a long story short, eventually people who use this, if you call demons, it's already a sin, and it's already something that people pay for as some type of punishment that's large in this life and in the afterlife if people don't stop and don't repent and don't accept God and so on. Plus, people who summon demons experience some type of results for a short time, and then what happens is the devil brings the opposite end to light. So if people ask for good health during a summoning of some demon, then the demon who doesn't like you, doesn't like humans, never liked to be in contact with the human race, our kin, they don't like it, and because they won't do really, because then they're left alone. So it's just like you go there with your good and nice human energy, just like, a human taking out all his favorite cheese and laying it out on the table. And then you call forth, you know, 20, 30, 40 mice, because when one comes, it's difficult to see if there's more coming behind. I might ask you for permission whispering, but at the same time, you're not powerful enough to stop them because no one is. When if you start playing with them, if you are an exorcist, then you're powerful to send them away, cast them out. But if you're not, if you think you're too cool for school because you know that you have the power, you think that you have the power, then and you leave all this good cheese out there and you tell your mice, I'm leaving for just a few moments. I won't be responsible for my home, and I'm just going to leave it to you. There's all this stuff on here, but you know what? Satan, I trust you, because for someone who wanted to kill God, my Father, I think that you're really reliable, and I really trust you for, to do this for me. And, Mr. Mouse / Satan, and I'm going to leave all this cheese out, and I'm sure for what your nature has become or is, you won't have any. And Satan says, yes, I won't have any. And then the mouse says, yes, we won't. The mice say, yeah, we won't have any cheese. But there's something in their eyes that tells you that really what they're dying for is that same cheese that you thought wasn't going to be appealing for the mice, just like you thought that, say, that green grass wasn't going to be appealing for your cows, or that meat that you left out wasn't going to be pleasing to take away, to steal for your cat, and so on. So you thought all of these things, but in the end, you got fooled by these spirits. So, and that's their nature. Then if people use a name to bind the spirit to do something for them, the spirit, if you're using a divine name, will carry out the task for a little longer. So it will be maybe 7 months of what we could call a clean result, but not really, because the substance is always that of a demon. And then after a few months, what happens is that God gets angry because he realizes that his name was uttered in vain, which happens to be one of the 10 commandments, that you don't speak God's names in vain. So you use God's name in vain, it's mortal sin. So whatever power you think God gave you to be against God, God takes away from you when it's too late. And then you end up in what they call deep shit. At that point, people call God, and God forgives them if they ask for forgiveness, but at the same time, God isn't their friend. And they call on Satan, but Satan never was their friend, and now doesn't like them because he was called using a name that repels him, a divine name. And that is where the believer in these things is left not fully respecting God and not knowing the nature of Satan, the very powerful and, in quotes, almighty, he thought, black magician, is left tricked or illusioned by the same act of magic that he wanted to perform. That was just my idea to tell you all this, because you don't want to be playing with black magic. Perhaps today is, the autumn equinox. You're getting information, downloading information off the internet, knowing what it's about. Perhaps you check out that you can summon a certain spirit on these days. make sure that you summon a spirit that is in God's light. Like the fairies that aren't pagan, because the fairies are the angels of nature, and when they were created by God, and they're not gods and goddesses, and they're part of the elements that they represent, and they swore, there's a lot of authors who speak of this, sworn alliance to the Creator, that they would always follow him and respect him always, and they would be in every part of nature to bring him and his message. So that's it. Right, so you can summon an angel, like for September 29th, summon Archangel Michael. For the autumn equinox, if you want the famous ones, perhaps Raphael, to help you adjust to the change of season. If not, the autumn equinox it changes also from year to year. The energies changes, the moon phase changes, the day on which the festival is in changes, but there's a strong energy on the day of the magical day and the days surrounding that date. So say for February 2nd, what they call Imbolc, IMBOLC, which has also another name that is Candelore. Is a good festival for purification, good day for purification, and perhaps is a good idea to call forth either the 4 archangels or Archangel Gabriel to help you be purified from what no longer serves you, and curses and so on. Get rid of all this stuff that you don't want in your life, and also to stop calling forth things that, or people or entities that bring these negative energies that in our jargon of magic are called curses or hexes or the evil eye. So the autumn equinox is about especially reconnecting to Mother Earth, especially adjusting to change, getting ready, not still doing it, but getting ready to work or comprehend what is change and what is death better, comprehend the old age, so what people, plants, animals, everyone feels like when they're old, and a lot more. Again, every time I talk about magic, I always take it for granted that if you want to know more, you'll contact me privately at the email you see below for a course or class or session with me, where you can also learn a cast. So that was a small intro that I wanted to give you on this day. That isn't just any day, it's an important day. It's not just the summer has ended and autumn is coming, and I see the air here in Rome is a lot more chilly already. So, but we don't have such a harsh winter. We don't have such such a bad time, Right. Of course, people in Australia and other regions are on another coordinate with what is called the spring equinox. The only magical festival that really isn't Christian is what they call Samhain or Halloween, because on that day it has become it was in the beginning already, and it's just wrong, and especially the way, and not especially, also the way it's done is very not what it is. So you have All Saints Day, that's very close. If you want to honor your ancestors or things like that. Okay, so when these festivals happen, my advice is to research, study white magic, and if you want to do a ritual during one of these days, it'll have multiple effect. Say if you're doing a ritual for abundance and you're doing it on the winter solstice, then perhaps it has an impact. If you do it on the summer solstice, it has another impact. If you do it on any day, it has another impact, or perhaps no impact. If you do it on the day that it's supposed to be done, at the hour that it's supposed to be done, it has another impact. It all changes according to what your desire and predisposition is. So let's see what the cards are driving us towards for today. And we are getting a strange card. Hope you see it well. The Five of Swords reversed is a card of letting go of the past and letting go of things that even if you haven't understood them fully yet, things that you feel aren't for you. So today is when we all let go of things that we don't want to see anymore and don't want to see in anyone's life. So more in general is a day for us to welcome the new, leave behind some of the chaos and the confusion of the past days. All of us have moments of indecision. If that was more frequent recently, leave it behind, and however, try to focus more on the future ahead of you. Try to be more productive. So is a day of welcoming something new. Again, it's no coincidence that we're drawing this card on such a day of change, but also not just because it's the summer, it necessarily was all perfect and all good for us, just because the sun was out or the sun was at its peak. The sun is, our inner sun is with us always, and it doesn't necessarily correspond to what the sun is outside of us. So that's another reason why we'll celebrate Michaelmas, to bring this inner sun with us along the cold months. And once Jesus came to earth, the sun is with us more tangibly. Right, so why not meditating with Jesus today to help us harness the energies of this autumn equinox? And I'm sorry, I promised you a few days ago that we do a meditation for your chakras. We might do it one of the next day, and or I might just post a meditation ritual to cleanse and perhaps realign your chakras. Okay, if you are interested in such a treatment, I'm also a Reiki, R-E-I-K-I master, meaning someone who does this professionally. There are 3 levels of Reiki: 1, 2, 3, and a master Reiki. And you can come to me freely to request any type of healing. And one of the most trendy nowadays, or one of the most known, well, everyone knows now that we have chakras. We don't only have 7, but 7 are the main energy centers that we have. Once your energy flows correctly, then your body is reestablished in perfect health. That's one of the benefits. So we'll do that in a few days perhaps. And then believing in chakras isn't against God, who created these energy centers for us. Okay? So close your eyes. We'll summon Jesus, who is coming to us with a brown mantle, and there's a lot of red in his energy. I can see it. And he's walking towards us, and he looks at us, and we know that by the look in his eyes, he loves us, and he wants to be with us always. And he's saying that he really knows what's in our heart, and he really knows what's in us, and he really knows who we want to be with, and he really wants to help us to go where we need to go, no matter what time it is, where we are, and where we need to go. It's never too late to be with him, with life, with everything that comes from knowing this. So once we're with the life, the truth, and the way, all we can do is be well. So we make that choice now, and we are well already, and we summon upon our spirit guides, mine and everyone who's watching, meaning your departed loved ones who are in heaven. I know this is more some type of summoning that we do on All Saints Day, but I think it's a good idea to do it today, because after we understand the energies of today, what Jesus led us through, we understand and we grasp the meaning of change, and we realize that the wheel of the year is just like the circle of life, and it doesn't matter at what point you are, life always regenerates herself, and just like nature always regenerates itself. So you have time to think about what's happening, and the spirits of your loved ones who are in heaven, you'll get a sense. I'm asking a saint to be with you, and if you get a sense of who among the people who died that you know or knew, perhaps some of them your family, some of them not, who ascended and who couldn't or didn't or is not there yet. And if these spirits are in the light, they'll be with you for this whole day, and if you want for more, until they reincarnate, if that's their choice and their future destiny. And you just spend some quiet time with them, and then you look at them in the eyes and get rid of all fear concerning change in life dying and things changing. Is this not a celebration of death, just like in November? But this is starting to get to know what change is in order to master it. So thank you. If these spirits, what we call spirit guides, bring you excessive sadness or discomfort, perhaps you're still young, or you are not used yet to these things, you just ask Jesus or the Holy Spirit to send them out, or Mother Mary, or any positive being to help you to release these beings back to the light, and you're good to go. But always do this with respect. So again, today's card was Five of Swords reversed. Some of you were treated with dishonesty in the recent past. It's time to let that go also. And I wish you very much a nice day, and that God may bless you, and a wonderful autumn equinox. And then just remember to be in God's light, and that's a light and a fire, if you will, that never perishes, because He's the Alpha, so He's the beginning, and the Omega, so He's the end of all things, the beginning and the end. So He will always be with you. But truly, there isn't a beginning, because God always was, and there isn't an end. The name means something that is so great that it includes all directions of time. So when you're with something that great, you're everywhere. Thank you. Have a nice day. Ciao.